Hello, today we are going to talk about discourse analysis, spoken and written discourse. We are going to analyze this episode from the Big Bang Theory. And basically, the video is going to be about this.
What's this cartoon called again?
Oshikuru Demon Samurai.
It's not a cartoon, it's anime.
Anime. You know, I knew a girl in high school named Anime. May Fletcher. She was born with one nostril. Then she had this bad nose job and basically wound up with three.
You're here a lot now.
Oh, am I talking too much? I'm sorry. Zip.
Thank you. Chocolate?
Yes, please. Oh. Hey, Kim. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Let me take this in the hall. You'll never guess who they got to replace me.
Okay. I know what you're doing.
Really?
Yes. You're using chocolates as positive reinforcement for what you consider correct behavior.
Very good. Chocolate?
Okay, this is about the video, and then we can begin with this analysis with this. This information has the context, which is the apartment. Then we have the genre, the conversation itself. The purpose, one of the purposes, is to know why Sheldon is applying operant conditioning. Then we have the audience, that is the speakers and the listeners in the same conversation or talk. We have the first part of the transcript, which is this part of the conversation, and here we have the analysis. Penny is saying, what's this cartoon called again? It's an example of an initiation. Then Leonard has a response, and Sheldon, even though he is a third person, he makes a comment, and it's not a cartoon, it's anime, so it's a comment. And following this structure, we have that is an example of an exchange. Going back to the transcript, I'm going to do this with the camera. So then we have the next part, which is this, and then we continue with the conversation with Penny, and we have that Penny makes this information with anime. I knew a girl in high school named Anime, etc., etc. So all this information is going to be the starter. Then Penny later on makes another initiation. Then Sheldon another response, and we have another initiation with chocolate, and then we have the response that Penny says with "Yes, please." So following this structure again, we say that it's an example of a transaction. It's an example of a transaction. In the same information, we have this. She was born with one nostril. Then she had this bad nose job and basically went up with three. So she is going to be. Let me do this with the camera. So she is going to be an anaphoric reference. Then basically went up with three is an example of an ellipsis. Why? Because she is talking about three nostrils. So went up with what? Went up with three nostrils. She is omitting information, in this case the nostrils. If we go back to the transcript, then we have the last part. When Penny receives the call, is "Yes, please." "Hey, Kim, yeah, you know what? Hold me. Let me take this." "Let me take this" is going to be an example of a substitution, because "let me take this" is what? Maybe this call in the hall. So is an example. This is going to be a substitute of the other word. We finish the first part of the transcript. Then we go next. When Leonard says, okay, I know what you're doing, and Sheldon says, really? Yes, you're using chocolates as a positive reinforcement for what you consider blah 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 blah. So in all this part of the conversation, we have this information. So at the beginning, Leonard says, okay, I know what you're doing, and this is going to be framing words, an example of framing words and a starter. Then Sheldon makes another initiation and Leonard responds, and Sheldon has another initiation, etc., etc. So in this first part we have a transaction which consists of initiation, response, and then we have that Leonard is going to have another response, and then we have a comment made by Sheldon, which is the follow-up. Actually, it turns out I can. So in this part, then we change, and we have an example of an exchange. Here, within this transcript, we have this: using chocolate as positive reinforcement for what you consider blah 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 blah. So using chocolates is going to be the hyponym of positive reinforcement. And in other words, positive reinforcement is going to be the hypernym or the superordinate of using chocolates. Then, here we have another example, my girlfriend, and later on they say, well, you shouldn't. So in my girlfriend is going to be an exophoric reference. Sheldon is an example of an ellipsis, because why he is omitting this information. You shouldn't train my girlfriend like a lab rat, etc., etc. And we have this information. We finish here in the you shouldn't. Then if we change to the next part of the transcript, we have there's just no pleasing you, Sir Leonard. You weren't happy with my previous approach to dealing with her, so I decided to employ operant conditioning techniques. These two examples, previous approach and operant conditioning techniques, are going to be examples of an anaphoric references. Why? Because we don't know what previous approach he was using and what conditioning techniques he is applying. So we have to know the other context to know this information. And then later on they mention her, so I believe I can have her. So her is going to be an anaphoric reference as well. Then we have Leonard. No, this has to stop now. No, this has to stop now. It's going to be an anaphoric reference because this is pointing backward, is referring to the situation. The situation has to stop now. Then they mention Penny. You're not sending Penny, and Penny is an anaphoric reference. It's pointing backward. Then Sheldon says, are you saying that I'm forbidden for applying a harmless scientifically protocol that blah 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 blah? And then Leonard answers, yes, you're forbidden. So here, Leonard says, yes, you're forbidden is an example of an ellipsis. Why? Because yes, you're forbidden from applying a scientifically protocol, blah, 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 blah. So here we have these examples. And basically, in this analysis, we talked about exophoric references, anaphoric references, ellipses, transactions, exchanges, hypernyms, and also we include an example of a substitution. So if you want to read the complete transcript and analyze it, you can find it below this video. And so we finish for today. Thank you.